I hope you guys have been very productive this week. Ready to chop up game with the family on this lovely Saturday evening. Shout out to all the regulars popping in the room right now. A lot of people are popping in very quickly. Much respect to you, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna take some calls from the family fairly quickly. I'm not going to be on too long. Just wanted to chop up and see how the vibe is going with the family. As you know, we're still talking about having the FBA rally in Washington, D.C. this October. At first, it was just kind of a thought, and I kind of put it out there the other day, and now this is taking legs. Just us talking about it has so many people excited about it. They really want to make this thing happen. Talking about this FBA rally in Washington, D.C. has a lot of people excited. So we're getting the logistics together Monday. We're going to be checking out some stuff out there in D.C. My sister Jade is out there. She's going to be out there talking to the permit people and all that. So now I'm excited about it. You guys have gotten excited about it. Now I've been extra turned up about it too. So we're trying to make it happen. We want to get this reparations rally popping off in D.C., possibly for October. I think this will be a great move. This is something that we need. We need to go out here and have a national agenda. So we're going to try to make that happen. My brother Randy Short is on deck. We're getting a lot of folks on deck with it right now. And what's interesting, we're just in the thought process stage pretty much. But boy, the tethers are already triggered. Boy, the tethers are, ooh, we need that museum nigga. When is the march nigga? So they're already ready to hate on it, which is good. That's how we can kind of measure things. You can kind of measure the effectiveness of things when, number one, they start sending a bunch of ops out there to talk down on it, and when a lot of tethers get triggered. When tethers get triggered, you know we're in the right direction. So a lot of the tethers are already getting triggered because of a rally that we're just talking about right now. We haven't planned it yet. What's up, Sister Wani? How are you, beloved? What's up, Red Joker? So yeah, people are already getting a little triggered by it. I don't know why. You shouldn't be triggered. You should join. All you tethers, get that tether spirit off of you and join the rally. Y'all should be campaigning for us to get our reparations, because you understand when we get it, we're going to set a template for you to go back to your homeland and petition the government and the colonizer that um, enslaved your society, because that's what imperialism and colonization is. Y'all like to point the finger to us, you niggas were slaves. Colonization is slavery. All right, you guys had your whole societies enslaved by the Spanish, the Portuguese, the British, the French. Us on this. So y'all need to be cheerleading on the sideline. But we're trying to get this thing organized. You know, it's a pretty short time to do it, but I think we can do it in an effective manner. Again, we're going to know some stuff later on this week. I don't want to put too much out there because, again, we want to make sure the dates are correct, because we think October will give us enough time. But you better watch out for these ops. Like, what, we got T.S. Giselle in here. Now, T.S. Giselle, you up in other rooms earlier just dumping on foundational Black Americans. I heard you earlier. See, we got to watch ops like that. People who sit around here trying to get intel and then go run. You go run. We're not having secret meetings here. We're talking about empowering ourselves as a group. There's no secret about that. So you don't have to be sneaking and slithering in here like you're doing something fly. You know, Agent Double O, masculine. So tell the tethers that, we're trying to be about empowerment. We're not letting anybody sidetrack us about what we're trying to do. We're being very focused right now. This is a very trying time, and we got to be on our grind, and we got to be very focused. about what we need to do to empower ourselves. And we're going to step up with our chest out talking about this reparations. And we got to get real serious about that. Let me get some calls from the family in here. A lot of folks in here. Let me get real. Where no? Let me no. Let me get who's raising their hand. Raise your hand. Let's get Antonio in here. Antonio Shepherd. What's up, Antonio Shepherd? What's going on with you, brother? You can turn your microphone on, bro. Antonio Shepherd, turn your microphone on. All right, let's get Irie Farmer. Let's get that person in here. Irie Farmer, hop on.
What's up, brother Reek?
What's up, man? How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good. The babies ain't yelling in the background, so everything real good.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no
But
doubt.
congratulations on yours, brother. How's the baby going?
The baby's great, man. Thank you so much. So what's on your
Yeah.
mind, brother?
Much blessings, brother. I just love the idea about going ahead and having a march going over there on Washington for reparations. I believe that's a good show of unity. That's a
Yeah,
good show of support. I believe it also allows us to go, brother J Rod, your background. I believe that it allows us to go ahead and actually show them not for one that we're unified, but that we have a unified purpose in reparations, and that we're not
yes,
just going to go out here to march and just storm the building for media coverage, but actually for purpose and tangible. So I love that, and I'll help be promoting that. And thank you for bringing that up, brother.
much respect, man.
Much blessings.
Real talk, man. The thing is, man, we when we think about it, and I start looking at a lot of the protests and some of the marches that goes on out here, and I'm like, nobody really has a clear agenda about nothing, and that's been a problem. And I understand that a lot of the times we don't have a clear agenda because there's a lot of controlled opposition that's put out there in the march. They make sure to give somebody a bullhorn to do a lot of screaming so that the focus will be on them. It's usually a person we never know. All right, is usually somebody we don't even know. They pop up out of nowhere. Yeah, you jive turkey. Yeah, and they're doing a lot of profanity. We're going to get these crackers. We're going to do all this and we're going to do all that. And by the way, what about LGBT black peoples? And we need to also fight for reproductive rights. Then it goes all the way left, and then we never get anything done. We've never really had a grassroots agenda, a strong grassroots agenda at a rally, at a protest, at a march. We've never had that. So that's definitely needed right now. J Rod, are you ready to speak, sir?
What's up, Tariq? Is my background too loud, bro? Because I'm a truck driver. I'll pull over right now.
No, you good, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, I'm going to make this quick, man. Suspected white supremacist Timothy Reynolds in Baltimore. I sent it to you on Instagram. I DM'd it to you. He tried to attack some brothers out there with a bat that was just cleaning windows. Them brothers defended themselves and put some hot ones in them, put them down. I just see some scary Negroes out here. I'm like, man, man, it's just good to see it the other way around, man. You try to attack some brothers with a bat and he defend himself and kill you. It
When did
is
this
what it is,
happen?
man. You be safe out here, bro. This
Okay.
happened yesterday in Baltimore. Check your DMs. I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah, I gotta see
My
that.
name,
Okay.
yeah, man. Timothy Reynolds, the Google in Baltimore, man. Light Street.
Okay. All right. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I want to look into that.
All right, bro. Be
Yeah,
safe.
that sounds interesting. Yeah, that sounds real interesting. Yeah, I hope the brothers all right because they got this thing now where black folks we can't defend ourselves, but non-black people can defend themselves against us even when there's no lethal threat. Just like up there in New York, everybody's celebrating that Hispanic dude killing that brother at the store. The brother got into a little tussle with the bodega owner, and the brother didn't have no gun. He wasn't armed, and he really wasn't beating up on the dude. But the bodega guy stabbed the dude, and New York doesn't have a stand your ground law. He didn't have to stab the dude, but everybody was celebrating this dude getting stabbed by this Hispanic dude. And the only reason they're really supporting the guy, they even made the bail get lower. They were campaigning to get the bail lower, so they got the man's bail lower. This whole anti-black thing, where you're supposed to celebrate whenever a black person gets killed, that's another reason why we got to get out here and say, hey, that type of culture has to go. this culture of vile anti-blackness where our deaths are celebrated. That's, come on, man. Damn that nonsense. We got to get busy out here in these streets and let them know what it is. What's up, Tracy? I see you, pretty big forehead girl. What's up, Lioness? I see Jade in here. Let me get my sister Jade in here right now. Real quick, Jade. Jade is probably booed up right now, but putting you on the spot, Jade. What's up, Jade? What's up with you, dear? She probably can't talk right now. Jade, where you at, dear? Where you go, Jade?
I'm here. Peace,
There you
peace.
go. Hey, beloved, how are you?
I'm doing well. I just came out of a workshop with Queen of Four, so technically, I'm not supposed to be on the internet right now.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah,
Is
I'm
Queen
really
of Four, were you doing it online?
online. Yes, it's a
Okay.
workshop for women called Wound Care Love, because
Yeah.
healing, internal healing, is important as the external work that we do in the world. But I just wanted to shout you out for
Yeah.
promoting the FBA March in DC. It's going to be a
Yeah.
success.
Yes. Yes. So Monday, let me know what's going on Monday. If I have to come out there, 'cause I'm doing a bunch of stuff, but if I need to come on out there and, kind of walk around and see what's going on with some of the stuff out there or sign the permits, let me know all that stuff. But
Absolutely.
some,
The final thing I'd
some of
like
the
to say,
parts,
brother, is that
go
the
ahead.
ancestors are with us. There's a lot of great history and ancestral energy on that day, October the 15th, that was
Yes.
selected.
Yes, yes, indeed. So yeah, keep me posted on Monday, sis.
All right.
And thank you, dear.
All right, peace.
Yeah, that's my sister. That's my sister Jade, who's going to be a big part of the event. She was a part of the FBA conference, which was phenomenal. We had a great time doing that. What's up, brother Mikael? Let me get my brother Mikael in here. Brother Mikael, how are you, sir? Get my brother. This is my FBA brother who's over in Africa right now, but this is an FBA brother right here. One of my LA partners right here, Brother Michael. How are you, sir?
Great Minister of Code. How are you, great one?
Yes, I'm good. Now, what do you think about this potential March rally that we're putting together, brother?
I think what the great family should really observe is how you're turning a bubble into a movement. We call this movement building.
Yeah.
And the timing of it, how impeccable and strategic it is, and how this march will resonate globally
Yep.
and connect with the entire Black diaspora in terms of incentivizing. So it's masterful.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Masterful.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, brother. Let me get some more of these other calls in here. But yeah, man, just the timing of this is very strategic. It's a very good time to do it right now because this is an election year. There's already a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of these incidents going on where they're harming our brothers and sisters. So, the media is going to be looking at us right now, the international media. All right. So that's going to be very important. Antonio, what's up, brother? You ready to get on?
Yeah, my connection was tripping, man.
That's all right. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, man. I just want to appreciate you, man, for all the hard work and everything you do, man. I'm a big supporter. I pretty much got every DVD. I got your last package and everything. I just wanted to shout you out. But I just want to say, man, I think this March is right on time, man. We got midterms coming up.
Yeah.
We need to get on one code. We need to get everybody on one page so we'll know, hey, get these people up out of office. If they not talking about what we talking about, get them out of there.
Yes, indeed, man. Much respect. And one of the reasons why I said, man, we got to do something. Number one, it was a couple of things. The shooting of our brother, the shooting of brother 60 times, and then the police kind of taunting people. That right there, we gotta really hit the streets on that one on a national level. That right there was like, that's too much. When they do that, all bets are off. Also, our so-called elected officials now are so damn trash when we are out here getting shot in the streets and we got black quote unquote senators twerking with their little crusty butt cheeks in the air. We got to do something, family. Yeah, we can't sit on our hands when we got little musty ass twerking senators who are not even FBA representing us. Nah, we got to. I hit the goddamn streets by my damn self. If that's the case, I'm not good with that. Yeah, we gonna have to take the streets back, guys. It's way too raggedy. The Congressional Black Caucus is raggedy. We should call them out at the rally too. By the way, see, this should be a nationwide call out. All the people that's shucking and jiving and twerking and slacking and neglecting us, they should all be called out by the black community standing in a unified front. That's the problem, family. These folks never get called out in unison. You know why? Because whenever there's protests, they're co-opted, the protests are co-opted with the same shills. They send these same Congressional Black Caucus shills out here to dissipate the movement. Remember when they had that thing out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma? They had the anniversary for Tulsa. We're out here talking about, hey man, those survivors need a check. Those survivors need some money. Remember, they had Sheila Jackson Lee and some of those other Congressional Black Caucus members out there dancing. They weren't talking about no money or nothing, no justice. They had them out there dancing a damn jig. We can't have people misrepresenting us, especially these non FBA people misrepresenting us. So that's why it's important for us to get out here in the streets with it and let folks know we're going to represent ourselves. We're going to speak for ourselves. And we're going to do it in the streets because, look, a lot of stuff online, you know, you can get some things done online, but when you have online forums, you have a bunch of ops, you have a bunch of tethers, you have a bunch of trolls, you have a bunch of people trying to dissipate the energy. You that's minimized when you're doing things in person, boots on the ground. You dig? When we haven't had a real thorough, true to the game, grassroots, boots on the ground movement in a while. The Black Lives Matter movement was not really grassroots. They took the energy from the grassroots. Let's be clear. They took a lot of the energy from the grassroots. And then they corporatized it and branded it with that Black Lives Matter stuff. And I want people to understand Black Lives Matter, they use it as a code word for black people, but Black Lives Matter is really a bunch of white liberals. That's really what Black Lives Matter is. Black Lives Matter, the reality is, it's a bunch of white liberals who basically set up these nonprofits and they were controlled opposition. And they got a bunch of black people as their front faces to go out here to dissipate the energy. They would selectively choose certain black people and put them in the media and scream, hey guys, this is the new black leader right here. D. Ray McKesson, who you never heard of, or Netta, who you never heard of, or this other random person who you never heard of. They made sure to either get an immigrant person or somebody who was LGBT, who nobody ever heard of, and they start signal boosting, screaming that these are the leaders, these are the leaders, these are the leaders. And it was astroturf. It was not grassroots. That's why those folks would get out there in the streets, and when they got around real folks in the streets, they would get run off the block. Remember, D-Ray and those guys would get run off the block. And also, D-Ray would go around trying to do lectures. Folks from Ferguson would show up to these lectures like, hey, that dude don't represent us. That dude don't represent us at all. And then they started doing those fake arrests, and I've always talked about that. That's been a running joke when D-Ray got fake arrested out there in New Orleans. That was the funniest, fakest thing ever. Stuff like that, we can see through that. And we got to play past that with a real, tangible grassroots movement. Let me get a couple of them. Let's get Afro Elite in here. Shout out to this brother. This brother, he gets out here in the streets and does his thing. What's up, brother Afro Elite? I'm good, man. What's on your mind, sir?
I just definitely want to give you your credit, throw my 2 cents in here because after the execution, the racial execution of our young brother Jalen Walker, I've been telling people that we definitely need to do something on the national level. Can't just
Yeah.
have this and don't get me wrong, any execution of a black person is egregious, but this is especially something monstrous that we can't just have a local protest for. And a lot of the media is trying to really be hush hush about it if it wasn't for us really pushing the issue. So out here
Right.
in Chicago, I've been trying to see what they've been on as far as like having protests and different rallies and things. And a lot of it is like the black and brown and poor white people, and we got to get out there and vote. A lot of that nonsense. So I definitely agree that we should be doing something on a national level where we control the narrative and we're the ones out there pushing for reparations and a hate crime because they're trying to ignore
Yes.
us.
Yes, they are. Yeah, thank you for the call. And that's the thing. We got to understand how the white media is so complicit in this stuff. The white media is completely complicit in it. And another dirty thing that I keep seeing with the white media, every time something happens that white society does, they find a way to scapegoat us. All this week, the white supremacists shot up those people at that parade in Highland Park, and just almost every story about it, the narrative is, yeah, he shot those people, but black people have shot some folks too. Like, what the hell does that got to, what is that? Yeah, there's some black people who do mass shootings too. Like, what? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's a very dangerous precedent that the media is setting too. See, this is another reason why we got to get out here and really spread our own message, because when the media is complicit with the white supremacists and the race soldiers, now we're getting into Nazism. That's Nazi Germany's type of stuff. And another thing that we keep seeing as far as them scapegoating us, and I saw Crump do this, and I try not to get on Crump's case because I know that's Teslin's guy, but Crump knows better. They get these Negroes to do the dirty work for them. He went out there. He was on TMZ talking about NBA players should speak out more for Brittany Griner. That's a cop out, and that's something coming from the top. That's some people, most likely the white Democrats, sending some talking points for their shills to put the blame on black people. NBA player means black people. And we keep seeing this narrative. How come NBA players, meaning black men, ain't doing something about Brittany Griner? NBA players are not politicians. The person to do something about that is Biden, who's the damn president, who could get that woman back if he wanted to. See, the thing is, they're trying to spin this thing because Brittany Griner's wife, they're writing letters calling Biden out. So they're sending their Negroes out here to get the focus off Biden. No, it's not Biden. It's the NBA players who ain't getting her back. The hell is that? See, they don't want to call out Biden, and they don't want to call out the white LGBT community. How come they ain't saying nothing about that woman? They're running around here with rainbow flags everywhere. The white corporate structure, they got rainbow flags. They're running around talking about LGBT this, LGBT that. They have not said one thing about that woman. They don't want to put their rep on the line or their money on the line to do anything about that woman. This is why I tell people, black folks, you are not a part of that LGBT community. You are only the mascot at best. You better understand, when you're a mascot, you're not a part of the team. Yeah? You're the San Diego Chicken. Just because you sit up here and cheerlead and rep the team, that doesn't make you a part of the team. And they keep treating you like the San Diego Chicken. The white LGBT community have not lifted a finger for that woman. That's why they keep trying to deflect onto black men. We ain't got nothing to do with what's going on with that woman, nor do we have the political power to really make a move like that, to do anything to get that woman back. That's a political thing that Biden could take care of overnight. We got, and I said this before, we got Russian spies over here that's in detention. Trade one of them Russian spies for that woman. But Biden doesn't want to do that because he don't give a damn about black folks. So don't let them try to keep putting the blame on us. This whole thing where they want to blame black men for everything. That's a very dirty trick that they like to do. We got a lot of folks in here. Shout out to all the people in here. What's up, brother Mel, brother Aki? I mean, sister Aki. What to call you? A lot of folks in here. Let's get brother DT in here. All right. Let's get DT in here.
Tariq.
What's up, DT? How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. Good. I just want to say real quick. I caught your interview with academics, and
Yes.
I thought that shit was fire. I really appreciated you calling out um, Candace Owens. I saw academics kept on trying to defend her and be like, "Oh well, she's an independent thinker and all that shit." And you kept on shutting that shit down and exposing her because I noticed these days, a lot of young dudes be on the internet and they run into finding, Candace Owens or Dolph Tatum, Maj Toure, Hotep Jesus, all the coon goons, and they think that
Yeah.
they're like truth tellers and all this shit. They don't realize that they're getting played into falling to white supremacist talking points and all that. So I appreciate you doing
Real
that.
talk.
You did it real good. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And yeah, if y'all haven't seen that academic interview, man, go check that out to see how to shut down a lot of those anti-FBA talking points. They're very easy to shut down, family. The problem is a lot of us just don't get the opportunity to do so because a lot of people who spew a lot of these anti-FBA tropes, they're usually doing it around other non-FBA people. So they just kind of get a lot of confidence in just saying this stuff and they never get checked on it. I put up another video of these busted wig Caribbean women saying the same stuff about, well, y'all at FBA ain't got no culture. And luckily these brothers checked them. And I mean, if you just check them on it a little bit, they will immediately fold. When folks say stuff like that, they know they ain't got nothing to stand on. They know they have nothing to stand on. And here's the problem: we've been letting folks get away with this stuff for so long, and we have not checked them. And I'm so glad we're starting to check people on that BS because they've been doing this privately among themselves. And every now and then it'll slip out in public. But now, anybody who comes around trying to disrespect foundational Black Americans, they get checked hard because and they got, and even here on Twitter Space, they got all types of tethers with rooms who sit up and whine about us all day. Isn't there a room going on now with a bunch of little musty tethers whining about us? They're not effective. I tell them to get in back of the wine line. Nobody wants to hear you whine. And again, you're about to hear a bunch of tether whining about the potential protest rally that we're doing. You're going to hear about them whining. Who cares? We don't want to. We don't care about whining. But when these folks start talking about our culture, they like to project the fact that they don't really have anything going on in their culture. No disrespect. Nobody is at liberty to say anything about a foundational Black American and our culture. We are the only people that has a true culture that's worth a damn. I'm gonna say that again. Foundational Black Americans are we're the only people who really have a true culture that is worth a damn. Who else has a culture that's more thorough than foundational Black Americans' culture? Let's just get into that. And whenever somebody, especially somebody from a place that they fled, all you got to do is say, hey, man, what is your culture? And they'll start babbling and splaining. They don't have an answer. They don't have no, their culture is fleeing and getting the hell out of their homeland. That's what their culture is. When people try to use that tether babble, that's what your culture is, getting the hell out of where you came from. A culture of cowardice. And then they start trying to tell that lie. Well, we left, but we be sending money back. We gonna go back. We're gonna go here get some money. Us leaving is a big old finesse. We gonna come get some money off y'all, and then we gonna go back. They love telling that lie. They don't never go back. They ain't about to go back. They get over here, they hit the lottery. They cling to the soil here. They ain't going back, and they know it. Now stop telling that lie and give thanks to foundational Black Americans for giving you a lane to come on through. That's what it is. I'm not going to take any disrespect. Nobody's going to call us xenophobic or nothing. We've bent over backwards for all of these other groups. Miss me with all that xenophobic talk. Just because we're not going to let you come over here and disrespect and undermine us, you're not going to try to shame us with little xenophobic terms. Stop it. You don't have a right to come over and disrespect us as much as we've done for you. Everything you got over here, if you're not FBA, it's because of us. And I know a lot of you are listening right now. That's where a lot of the jealousy and envy comes from. You know it. Everything you got over here is because of a damn foundational black American. That's why you came over here. You didn't go anywhere else on this planet. You didn't go over there where the British had colonized you. You don't go over there. You come over here. You had to go to the people who had to stand up to the white supremacists. Because the white supremacists, and I told DJ Academic this, because he was like, well, the white man gave me opportunities. I said, well, who made this white man give the opportunities? They weren't trying to give any opportunities to any black people or any non-white people for that matter, because all the non-white people owe us. They better pop their collar to us. These white supremacists wasn't trying to give nothing to nobody except white folks. We had to step to them and said, no, that's not acceptable. We had to step to them with that energy. Yeah. We are the culture here. Everything about American culture was either created or heavily influenced by foundational black Americans. And I mean everything without any damn exception. We are the culture from top to bottom over here. Let me get some more folks in here. All right, let's get Equal Hedge. All right. Equal Hedge, hop on. Turn your speaker on, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me on this space.
There you go. Now, where you from? You sound like a white man. Where you
I'm
from?
from Denver, Colorado. I'm not white though. I'm a South Asian.
South A. What part of South Asia?
Nepal.
Nepal. Is that by Sri Lanka?
No. So we're in between India and China. We're like the northeastern. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Is that kind of Thailand?
No. It's about like 5,000 miles away from Thailand. Like
Really?
Nepal is where Mount Everest is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Cool.
So I wanted
All
to
right.
ask you a
Go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
In terms of like politically, what's going on right now with like just what's going on in terms of the financial situation in the USA, is this
Hmm.
is this causing more racial tensions, or like have these tensions just always been there?
Is what causing racial tension?
The economy going to shit and just stuff like that.
No, no, no. What's causing? Well, there's always been racial tension. Okay, let's be very clear. This country was built on racial tension against foundational Black Americans. There's always been racial tension. Right now, the white supremacists, their numbers are dwindling. So now they are trying to plan on running this place as a minority, like South Africa. So what they're doing is going on a terror campaign. So they're doing these egregious, bold acts of murder of black people in order to kind of scare us into submission, and it's not really working. And that's where we are now. They're trying to scare us to submit and just go along with white supremacy. And we're kind of still standing up to it saying, nah, we ain't going to do that. So that's where we are right now. We're trying to produce justice. And the first order of business is to get some reparations. Now, how do you feel about foundational Black Americans getting reparations, sir?
Honestly, I don't have an opinion on that. I see why both sides have their problems with that.
Right.
Okay, and now I'm only talking about me individually, right?
Okay.
Only me. I'm not speaking for nobody else. Me personally, if you ask me up on the street, hey man, you pay me reparations, I'm gonna tell you no. Go yourself. I'm not paying you for something I did not do. You know what I'm saying?
But, okay, but you have to understand, we're owed by the government, the United States government. Okay.
Okay. From the government standpoint, yeah, they owe just about everyone
No, they don't.
reparations.
No, they don't. No, they don't owe everyone reparations. What do you mean they owe everyone reparations? How?
People who they've invaded.
Well, no, because some of these countries wage war on the U.S., like Japan, for example. If you drop a bomb on somebody, well, they can defend themselves from that. And there's different um, casualties of war. There's different instigations of war. So no. And also some of the places that they've invaded, they have offered aid to them. So they've gotten forms of reparations. You understand?
I get that. So let me ask you about Biden sending $40 billion to Ukraine. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel that that can be some of our reparations money. You see, that should be some of our reparations money. And because you immigrated over here to a government that owes foundational Black Americans money, you're on the hook for that too. So you do owe. You owe.
I mean, okay, so let's put a number on it. What are we talking about?
$20
Like
trillion. That's 400K, around 500, between 400 or 500K per person.
400 to 500K
Per person, yeah,
person.
per foundational Black American.
All right, so
Starting at $20 trillion. We're going to
okay,
start there.
so how so like what percentage of your blood has to be like foundational Black American?
If you can trace your lineage back to the 1870 census, if you want to trace your lineage back to the 1870 census, you're a foundational Black American. You're eligible for a check. Real
Oh,
simple. Ain't rocket.
okay.
hmm
So like
and you have to be a person who has classified themselves as Black for the last 10 years. You have to be a person who's classified as Black now.
okay, okay. In terms of the current Black political leadership, how do you feel about that one?
They're co-opted and they're ineffective, and they have a bunch of non-FBA tethers misrepresenting us. This is why we're trying to clean house as far as that.
Okay.
hmm
I saw this one lady. I think she's from Minnesota. She was like twerking on a fucking campaign ad, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what's like? Why are you doing that?
She's a non-FBA woman. She's Caribbean. She's not us. That's not an FBA woman. She doesn't represent us or our culture whatsoever. She's
Okay.
not. Yeah.
Um, how do you feel about closeted Black Republicans?
It depends on, are they conservative or are they sellouts just trying to get brownie points from white supremacists? Because I'm conservative and most Black people are actually conservative, not Republican, but our views are conservative because we've been here longer than any other group. What we have are a lot of these so-called closeted Republicans who are a bunch of non-FBA tethers who come over here and just try to get brownie points by regurgitating white supremacist talking points like the Candace Owens and people like that. So um, they are bad faith actors. That's what I refer to them as.
Okay. Has hip hop been bastardized by the people that you consider your enemies?
Like what? Bastardized? How?
Like basically like they become sellouts, like I don't like using that. What's the word? I
Oh,
don't like using that word,
hip
but yeah.
got nothing to do with hip hop. People can be R&B sellouts. They can sell out with jazz. The music doesn't facilitate whether a person is going to sell out or not. A sellout is a sellout, whatever music genre they choose to participate
Okay.
in.
Oh, that's fair.
There you
Well,
go.
yeah. Thanks for having me up on the space. I've actually got to go to the store.
All right. Thank you so much, man. You have a good time. Good night.
You as well, sir.
Okay, god damn, you see, y'all hear a bunch of stuff happening at my house. Anyway, y'all, let me do this because my doorbell is ringing. I'm gonna come back on a little bit later because I think the conversation was getting interesting. So I get back on later. There's a lot of people coming on, but I got folks coming over to do some repairs at the house. So I check in with you guys later. Peace.